And ladies and gentlemen, we just wanted to let you know that there is seating available on the left side of the room. If you'd like to make your way over to the left side of the room, there are plenty of seats available. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, our program is about to begin. We would ask you to take any available seat at this time.
and welcome to Football Night in America. Now tonight in Arlington, Texas, fans of the Dallas Cowboys will be getting their first glimpse of the team's new home. With the building set to open in the summer of 2009, construction is already underway, and tonight they are gathering in Arlington for the unveiling, where invited guests will receive an insider's peek at this state-of-the-art venue. Years of planning and design work have culminated in tonight's big event, and those in attendance will receive their first look at a venue for the ages, with a retractable roof, end zone plazas that open into the seating bowl through the world's largest retractable glass doors, and a potential capacity approaching 100,000 fans. This building will set the standard for stadiums worldwide and create the ultimate fan experience. Wait a minute, 100,000 for a capacity? And all these plazas and all these additional things? Chris, you handle this. I got to see this for myself.
All right, this show is getting ready to get a whole lot better right now, I can guarantee you.
Please welcome 17-time Emmy Award winner and one of the most respected and honored broadcasters of any generation, Bob Costas.
Well, you weren't fooled, were you? We actually taped that 2 Sunday nights ago. At Mr. Jones's request, we erased the tape of this past Sunday night's game. We'll get over it. All right, tonight, we share in the beginning of a new experience for America's team as we unveil the design concept of what in many ways will be the most extraordinary athletic facility ever conceived. The new stadium will be a place in which the history of the Dallas Cowboys is honored, and at the same time, new traditions are established. For more than 30 years, Texas Stadium, with its distinctive hole in the roof and its applications of silver and blue, has been the stage for one of the most admired and successful professional sports organizations in American history. Millions of people from around the world have enjoyed Dallas Cowboys games at Texas Stadium, a place in which success was expected, and in fact, 5 world championships were earned. The new Dallas Cowboys Stadium will capture the imagery of Texas Stadium, but in a 21st century supersonic setting, providing amenities for audiences and players that were unimaginable only a few years ago. The new Dallas Cowboys Stadium has been designed to host the next generations of Cowboys games, providing unprecedented facilities for those who wear the fabled silver star on their helmets and the millions who come to cheer them on. The new Dallas Cowboys Stadium will be the symbol by which Dallas and the region are known around the world. Although conceived to host the games of one of the most recognized teams in all of sports, the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium has also been designed to host the grandest spectacles not just in the NFL, but in all of sports and entertainment. The venue's flexible seating configuration will allow upward of 100,000 people to be part of the event experience. The 60-yard-long center-hung scoreboard will be the largest in the world and the first ever in a venue of this size, integrating the latest technology into the fan experience. The climate-controlled environment will make this stadium an attraction for the biggest international events, ranging from Super Bowls to NCAA Final Fours, concerts, and political conventions. The new Dallas Cowboys Stadium will be emblematic of an organization known around the world for its commitment to excellence and its tradition of success. This is the historical context in which we have convened tonight to share in the unveiling of a concept design for the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium, a venue unlike any other ever constructed in American history. Even as we look to the future, though, let's take a moment to look at some of the Cowboys' storied past.
Recognizable coach in NFL history is Tom Landry.
Jimmy doesn't come to play, he comes to win.
Bob Lilly was the greatest defensive lineman I ever saw.
Bob Hayes, the world's fastest living human.
No matter how much time was left, Roger could win the game.
We call Randy White manster, half man, half monster.
Floating Dorsett, 99 yards.
Is it Michael Urban or Michelangelo?
I mean, there's fire in his eyes or fire in his heart.
Evan Smith has done it again.
We're going to run the ball, we're going to pass the ball, we're going right down this field, and we're going to score.
Let's go.
The Dallas Cowboys, a galaxy of stars, casting a light all their own. Cowboys are defined by two words:
America's team.
style, creativity, and commitment are what make the Dallas Cowboys America's team. It's an identity symbolized by a lone star shining bright as it rises to the top. It's cutting-edge innovation, from the hole in the roof at Texas Stadium to their world-renowned cheerleaders. No team is in the spotlight more than the Dallas Cowboys. With a profile as high as the stars themselves, the Cowboys consistently draw astronomical ratings. A storied line of coaches have made the Cowboys winners. Passionate leadership has made the franchise a model of stability. Dedicated ownership places as much emphasis on community as it does on winning. Leaders are always looking forward. The Cowboys are moving from historic Texas Stadium to a new state-of-the-art facility that will showcase future stars and the best fans in football.
And this night would not be complete without showing some love to those legends who helped make that amazing history happen. And many of those legends are here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your Ring of Honor honorees. First up, selected to a team record 11 Pro Bowls, this Cowboy great was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1980. Mr. Cowboy, Bob Lilly. A product of Southern Methodist University, this colorful passer guided the Cowboys to a pair of NFL championship games and was the NFL Player of the Year in 1966. Dandy Don Meredith. Now, I said the same thing when they showed me the script. Don Meredith is here? Because Don doesn't show up at anything anymore. And he didn't show up tonight. But he's still a member of the Ring of Honor. Now, this legend ran for more than 6,000 career yards and was a 6-time Pro Bowl selection. The 1961 NFL Rookie of the Year, Don Perkins. All right, now that one I wasn't sure about, but apparently in solidarity with his old teammate from the 60s, Don has decided to hang with Don Meredith tonight as well. But trust me, there's lots of Cowboys back there. Lilly is not the only one, I swear. Although he could probably still take on another team 1-on-11, he does have backup back there, and they're coming out. A linebacker for Dallas from 1961 to 1973. This 6-time All-Pro selection was the MVP of Super Bowl V, Chuck Howley. Okay, named to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 10 seasons. This Cowboy was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1996, the great defensive back Mel Renfro. This former Heisman Trophy winner was the winning quarterback in Super Bowls 6 and 12 and was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985, Roger Staubach. The middle linebacker of the Cowboys' famed Doomsday defense, a 5-time Pro Bowl selection and 2-time All-Pro, Leroy Jordan. This Heisman Trophy winner was Rookie of the Year in 1977, and at the close of his career, he ranked as the NFL's second all-time leading rusher, a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Tony Dorsett. He set a team record with 8 straight All-Pro selections and was a 9-time Pro Bowler. Inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1994, Randy White. I wasn't going to be the one to tell Randy it's kind of a formal occasion. He pretty much does what he wants. A member of the NFL's all-decade team for the 1970s, this Cowboy was a 6-time Pro Bowl selection and 4-time All-Pro, Cliff Harris. The first offensive lineman to enter the Ring of Honor and the club's most decorated offensive lineman of the 70s as a 6-time Pro Bowler, just recently inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Rayfield Wright. The field general for 3 Super Bowl titles in the 1990s. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler and the MVP of Super Bowl 27. Inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this summer, Troy Aikman. The emotional leader of the Cowboys in the 1990s, he was the club's top receiver for 8 consecutive seasons and was a 5-time Pro Bowl selection, Michael Irvin. The NFL's all-time leading rusher. This back found the end zone an NFL record 164 times on the ground. He was selected to the Pro Bowl 8 times and won 4 rushing titles, and of late, he's proved he can dance as well. Emmitt Smith. Emmitt couldn't be here tonight. He's out salsa dancing with Rita Moreno, I guess. The man has other things to do. Okay, and these members of the Ring of Honor are no longer with us, but will always be a huge part of the history of the Dallas Cowboys. The first head coach of the Cowboys, he led Dallas to 2 Super Bowl titles, 5 NFC titles, and 270 career wins, the 3rd most in NFL history. Inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1990, the coach, Tom Landry. The Cowboys' first president and general manager, he was instrumental in the development of instant replay, the NFL-AFL merger, and the creation, and this is his crowning achievement, the creation of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. A member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Tex Schramm. A four-time All-Pro and winner of the gold medal in the 100 meters at the 1964 Olympics, this wide receiver changed the way defense was played in the NFL as they tried to cope with his world-class speed, Bob Hayes. Ladies and gentlemen, the legends of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, Ring of Honor. Well, throughout history, people have yearned to belong to something bigger than themselves, to feel a sense of community and shared experience. It's the shared experience that lasts longest in people's memories. In my own case, they've asked me to think back. The first sports event that I ever remember attending was at Yankee Stadium in 1959. I was 7 years old. My dad took me to the game, and in those days, the monuments to the late, great Yankees, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, were actually on the field in front of the flagpole because it was 461 feet to center field from home plate, and hardly anyone ever hit a ball out there. That was the pre-steroid era, so it was pretty difficult to hit a ball 461 feet. So when the game was over, they would let fans leave by way of the field, and you could walk around the warning track. And my dad took me by the hand, and we walked past the bullpens and past the bleacher walls, and we got out to the flagpole in center field, and I stood there in front of those monuments, and I was 7 years old, but already pretty knowledgeable about the Yankees, and my favorite player was Mickey Mantle, who, of course, spent the better part of his life here in Dallas, or at least the post-career part of his life. And so I stood there in front of those monuments, and I began to cry. And my dad asked me what was wrong. I was a 7-year-old kid, just got to see the Yankees play. What could possibly be wrong? Well, I was convinced that Ruth and Gehrig were buried right there. I was convinced that this was the sacred Yankee burial ground, and when Joe DiMaggio went and when Mickey Mantle went, they'd dig another hole and put them in there too. And it was a bit too much for a 7-year-old kid to take. But I will never forget that day at Yankee Stadium. They lost to the Orioles 7-2, and Brooks Robinson hit a home run for Baltimore. Madison Square Garden, 1971, the first fight between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. That arena was so electric. I will never forget that night as long as I live. The anticipation was so tremendous. Two undefeated heavyweight champions, two all-time greats. And the country split not just because of the styles of the fighters, but because of what people thought they represented sociologically, the controversy of the time, and Joe Frazier actually knocking Ali down in the 15th round that night and handing him his first defeat. And then I had become a professional broadcaster, and Ali was at a much different stage of his life at the Atlanta Olympic Games in 1996. That Olympic Stadium was the scene when Muhammad Ali came trembling out of the shadows, a victim of Parkinson's disease, once the most voluble and outgoing man in all of sports, reduced to a symbol, barely able to express himself, and yet so expressive, standing there, taking that torch from Janet Evans and beginning the Olympics in that way, and the whole country having evolved in its feelings about him, and the goosebump-raising standing ovation that he got. Every time I go back to Madison Square Garden now for a basketball game or whatever, I think of Ali and Frazier. When I go into that ballpark, which has now been converted from the Olympic Stadium to the place where the Atlanta Braves play, I think about that night in 1996 with Muhammad Ali lighting the cauldron. And every time I step into Texas Stadium, just a flood of memories. Roger Staubach and Don Meredith and Troy Aikman, now Tony Romo leading the Cowboys down the field. I even think about Clint Longley on Thanksgiving Day in 1974, his one moment of glory. And whatever is at stake that day or that night in Texas Stadium or any of the other great venues where we go to watch sports, whatever is at stake that day or that night, part of the experience is what we remember from the last time we were there, and what we'll take out of it that day or night and bring back the next time we go there, and what each generation passes on to the next. Sports is perhaps the single greatest common denominator in the country, where a young person can talk to a much older person, and people from walks of life where they would otherwise have little in common can immediately strike up a conversation about the Cowboys or whatever it might be. And it's those shared experiences and the ballparks and arenas and stadiums that house them and provide the context for them that I think gives sports its greatest meaning. So even though I make my living on television, and TV can do a great job in bringing big events to millions of people, there's nothing that can replace the experience of seeing an event in person, whether it's your kid's Little League or high school game, or the Super Bowl, the NCAA Final Four, or the Olympic Games. Part of the beauty of the new Cowboys Stadium is that it is designed to play host to all those events, from Pee Wee football to the Friday Night Lights experience of Texas high school football to the Super Bowl, as well as putting North Texas in the running for Final Fours, for political conventions, even for the Olympic Games. In addition, the venue will accommodate major concerts and performances by the world's greatest entertainers. Many of you have your own memories of your first Cowboys game. Maybe it was against Jim Brown in Cleveland at the Cotton Bowl, or Joe Theismann and the Redskins at Texas Stadium, watching Don Meredith, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, and now Tony Romo, as I said, lead the Cowboys down the field. In 2009, you'll be a part of bringing those memories to the next generation of fans in this magnificent new stadium in Arlington. The new Dallas Cowboys venue will be the setting for countless unforgettable experiences.
Throughout the centuries, the glory and grandeur of great architecture has inspired the masses to congregate for events worthy of worldwide recognition. These places represent the traditions, customs, and culture of those who have joined in sharing a common experience unlike any other. The stadium is a place where people have come to contemplate the mysteries of life as portrayed through music, dance, and theater, and to celebrate the spectacle of sport. Stadiums are the shadows of experiences in which new traditions are conceived, allegiances formed, and communities redefined. The visionaries behind the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium in Arlington are similarly inspired to create a venue deserving of the same awe and respect afforded of the great stadia around the world.
I've never felt that I own the Dallas Cowboys. I know what a feeling of ownership feels like if you own a car or a house or some land. My role with the Cowboys has always been to run with the ball while I have an opportunity to use whatever skills I've got to best make and stay in step with the great people and the great constituency that have made this franchise what it is today. I feel fortunate for that opportunity, but I also feel a great responsibility to those people, the past, coaches, fans, that have contributed to not only what the Cowboys are today, but what they're going to be in the future. What we've been designing these last few years with some of the finest architects at HKS, some great builders at Manhattan Construction, our own family in Cowboys management, a team of people who understand the significance of the task at hand, this will become one of the most visible buildings in the world. NFL programming is the #1 programming in television, and the Dallas Cowboys games consistently draw the highest TV rating. What we have designed is a structure we feel is both architecturally significant, but yet reflects the emotion and the competition that goes on not in the venue, but in the minds of the people that see the venue, almost a living entity. As much as the star on the helmet, the historic Super Bowl wins, the National Red Kettle campaign for the Salvation Army kickoff, and the great players themselves, Texas Stadium is the Dallas Cowboys. It's a great symbol that has endured over generations of fans, the white roof and the steel that supports it, the Ring of Honor. The challenge for us with a new stadium is to innovate, but never forget to acknowledge tradition, and that starts with the familiar hole in the roof. Those nighttime aerial shots from the blimp looking down on your favorite team, that's the Dallas Cowboys. The monumental steel arches that span the entire structure and support that roof also represent a legacy. That steel, rising 300 feet in the air, spanning a quarter of a mile from base to base, stand as a symbol of strength, creating the largest single span arches in the world. These arches will be visible for miles as they go up, and alone will become a symbol of this great new facility. By remembering our past, we are also given the opportunity for innovation. The same steel arches that were inspired by the roof at Texas Stadium also give us the ability to create the first center-hung scoreboard in football history. Hanging above the field will be a media board that spans from the 20-yard line to the 20-yard line. At 50 feet in height and weighing 600 tons, make it the largest in the world. It will give every fan a great seat. You'll be able to see the players as if you were standing on the sidelines, creating a living, interactive aspect to the building. The huge retractable glass end zone walls at the ends of the building offer a unique and stunning entrance to the structure, providing light, air, and an openness not normally seen in a roof stadium. These open end zones will also give us tremendous flexibility in the stadium's capacity and the ability to host events of all sizes. These open-air plazas will allow thousands of people to have a game day experience. Envision with me, if you will, our corporate sponsors, creating interactive experience for our fans. A Miller Beer concert stage celebrating the event. A Pepsi or Bank of America Kids Zone. The Ford Motor Company showing our fans and their customers their latest models. And what about another Texas institution? Dr. Pepper showing our fans just how they've become a Texas tradition today. Let's go to the field, where I like to hang out. When Texas Stadium was constructed in the early 1970s, it was one of the pioneering venues for suites in sports. Our new facility will feature a number of suite innovations. The most unique, the sideline suites. They will be at field level right down there among the action, where they'll have the same view our players and coaches have as they pace the sidelines. This is a unique element we'll be bringing to our new home. The magic, the aura of sports and entertainment is what lights up the inner passion in all fans, in all of us. You can't fake it, you can't produce it, you really can't know the results until after the game is played. That emotion and capturing it is what this building is all about. This building's about the future. It's about the role of technology in sports. It's about the role of mediums in sports. It will be a part of bringing that magic to life.
And unprecedented moment in the history of shared experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Quite a place, isn't it? Today you've seen a glimpse of our new stadium. We studied the greatest stadiums, arenas, museums, and buildings around the world to see what people really want. This represents the best of the best, and I believe it will be the epicenter of great events for decades. We'll see you here for the opening kickoff in 2009.
And now, here they are, America's sweethearts, the often imitated but never equaled, internationally acclaimed Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
I'm sure you'll all agree there are a few things more impressive than a high degree of aerobic fitness. Thank you all for inviting me to be here tonight. This looks so cool. I can't wait to attend my first game at the stadium in 2009. Like all of you, I'm really looking forward to it. Our thanks to the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Our thanks to all of you for being here. He hasn't asked me to do so, but I think it's appropriate. While there are many, many people who will have a hand in making this dream become a reality, the driving force behind it is, of course, Jerry Jones. Here he is. Stand up, Mr. Jones. And our thanks to all the Ring of Honor members for being with us here tonight and adding something to the evening. And now we invite all of you to stay for a while and celebrate with us. Thanks very much.
Let's get it started. Ha! Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Ha! Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Ha! Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Ha! Let's get it started in here.
In this contest, there's no disrespect, so when I bust my rhyme,
you break your neck.
We got 55 seconds to disconnect. Check the set, then left. I'm got an intuition, the Ella's on a mission. I got your vision for an exhibition competition. The both of me, I'm gonna put a treat out and figure how the LW wearing it. Making moves, I'm making them lyrical rhymes, shaking them, shaking them all down and down and start breaking them.
Everybody, everybody, get into it, get to it, get started, get started. Let's get it started, ha! Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started, ha! Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started, let's get it started in here. Let's get it started, ha! Let's get it started in here.
Lose control, I'm body and soul. Don't move too fast, just take it slow. Don't get ahead, just jump into it. If I hear about it, that's all I do it. Get started, get started. Don't walk away, the people will walk you through it.
Step by step,
like an infant new kid.
Edge by edge,
with no solution. Transparent heads with no diffusion. The feelings ever since I was that's how we do it. Come on.
Everybody, everybody, get into it, get stupid, get started, get started. Let's get it 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 started. Running, running.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Jump, everybody, jump. Jump, everybody, jump. Everybody, jump. Everybody, jump. Everybody, jump. Come on, everybody, jump. Everybody, jump. Everybody, jump. Everybody, jump. Jump, everybody, jump. Jump. Talk to them around.
Let's get it all out the deal out the game. We will come out through. Just lose your mind. This is the time. Y'all can't stand still. Just a bang is fine. Just bang your head like me, the rally. I'm such a global easy belly. Get messy. Now let's shake your mind. There's no one on the head to go. Come down now to not correct it. Let's get ignorant. Let's get hectic. Everybody, everybody, get into it. Get stupid. Get started. Hey! Let's get it started. 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 Let's get it started.
Everybody jump. Everybody jump. Everybody jump. Everybody
so deep in your eyes, touching me more and more every time. When you leave, I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2-3 times in a row. Such a funny thing for me to try to explain. Way I'm feeling in my pride ain't the one to blame. Yeah, still I don't understand the time you love and do and no one else cares. So crazy right now. You love, so crazy, so crazy. You feel, come on. Oh no. When I talk to my friends so quietly, who you think you is? Look at what you did to me. Tennis shoes don't even need to buy a new dress. You ain't there, ain't nobody else to impress. The way that you know what I thought I knew is the beat that my heart's what's for you. Still I don't understand the time you love and do and no one else can. So crazy, so crazy. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now, baby. So crazy and love got me looking.
OG, big homie, the one and only. Not sticking pony, but the pockets are fat like Tony. The brand of a rock and a life in next to. I say bonies can't get next to. Genuine article, I do not sing though, but sling though. Anything I blink, yo. You crazy, when the whole set. Crazy in the lanes, crazy in the lanes. I can't figure them out. They say, yeah, is he insane? Yes, sir. I come from a different club, my texture. Be the best virgin chiller. Stay realer than chase movers. How you think I got the name for? I've been realer, the game's over. Go back young ever since the L came over the planet.
You got me looking so crazy, my baby. I'm not myself. I'm foolish, I'm playing myself. I don't care if your love got the best of me. Or do you making a fool of me? It's right, I don't care who sees. Baby, you got me, yeah. So crazy. Crazy right now, baby.
She was rolling, she knew what she was doing. You told me how to walk this way. She told me to.